What's up, guys? What's going on? So in this video today, I want to talk to anyone who's been on the fence about becoming a barber. I know we're in crazy times, and a lot of people are like questioning their career choices, questioning what they want to do the rest of their lives, because it's been challenging times for a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. It's not the worst that I've experienced. I think 2008, 2009, that whole era was a whole nother monster. Buildings like this would be completely empty. Whole blocks and neighborhoods would be foreclosed. People would be coming into the shop. Half the people coming into the shop were unemployed. There were some scary times, and this is a little scary, but it can get a lot worse. But I realize there's a lot of people who are looking for something else and something more fulfilling, and realizing money isn't everything, and they want something more flexible. They want something more fulfilling. And one of the most comments that I get as of late are people who feel like, is it too late to get started? All the research you do online can be intimidating. It can be scary. The median income of a barber being $36,000 a year, $55,000 a year. So I want to give you a little bit of a reality check, but it's not all bad. Barbers, typically, it is a much more flexible career than when I had a job, a 9 to 5, all that stuff. Even when I own my own business, it's a lot. Owning your own business, you are everybody's employee at that point. You know what I mean? You have a lot of people to answer to, even your own employees. Because if they're not happy, then you won't have a successful business. But being a barber can be different depending on what platform you're in. If you're in a booth rent shop, you're your own boss. And there's some booth rent shops that they still want to try to treat you like an employee, but you have rights, and they can't do that for the most part. What I would recommend, what I would say is, the median income is definitely not 36,000. It ain't 40, it ain't 50. I don't think it's 55. I think it's more like 70. I think it's more in the 70,000 range, 70, 80,000 range. Sorry, I gotta pick up poop that my dog just did. Because I'm one of the few that actually pick up after my dogs use the bathroom. I'm one of the few that actually pick up. Unfortunately, people don't have common courtesy these days. And it's a lot like most barbers aren't professional. Most, very similar. I know I keep rambling on, but the median income definitely isn't 36, 40, 50. I think it's more 70, 80. That's a little bit more doable. And just do the math for yourself. Even if you're charging $30 a haircut, with haircut and beard, or 25 for a haircut, 35 with haircut and beard, and then you add tip on top. People generally do tip. Let's say it's $5 extra, and you're averaging $40 a service. Let's just say you're averaging $40 a service. How many haircuts would you have to do a week to make a decent, livable wage? And if you're happy with 70, 80K, you would have to probably make 85, 90K after expenses and booth rent to take home about 80K. And then you got to pay taxes, right? But everybody has to pay taxes. A salary at 70, 80K a year isn't taking home 70, 80K, because you have FICA, you have federal income tax. So I never, anytime that I give this information, people will say, but you got to pay taxes. But you got booth rent. It's no different than a W-2, than a paycheck. A $100,000 salary isn't taking home $100,000. If you know what you're doing, though, you should be paying a lot less taxes than an employee or someone who's self-employed. You should be paying a lot less taxes. Why? Because you create what's called an S Corp. By the way, Pi Accounting will help you with that. If you're a barber that needs help with this, definitely go to piaccounting.com, set up a consultation, see if it's right for you. Only if you're making $45,000 a year or more, or at least making, I think, about $4,000 a month. If you're making $4,000 a month, you're ready. You're ready to pay less taxes, is what I guess where I'm getting at. But so if you're making 80K as a barber, you are going to pay less taxes under an S Corp as an employee, because you don't have to pay as much employee taxes, okay? You don't have to pay so much into FICA. You can get health insurance, especially if you're healthy. I would say really good health insurance would cost you about $200 a month if you're healthy. Okay insurance is gonna be about $100, $150 a month. And you can get even cheaper insurance, HSA insurance, that type of thing, for $70 a month. And if you don't make a lot, you'll get government subsidies. So whether or not your employer covers it or not, it's coming out of the compensation budget, okay? So I would say probably what you save in taxes and employee taxes will more than cover your benefits, your health benefits, all that good stuff, right? If you need retirement, you're gonna have to do a self-directed IRA and just fund your retirement. The disadvantage of being a barber is your employer's not gonna match the 2%, 1%, or 3% with a 401k, but you can set up a self-directed retirement account and you can fund it. The $7,000 a year, or if you're married, $14,000 a year. So you can absolutely make this a career, and the tax savings typically, if you're doing an S Corp, will make up for your health benefits, will pay for your health benefits, and you can expect on average a median income be about 70, 80K a year. Take home. I have 8 barbershops, over 80 barbers, and I can tell you that the majority of them make more than 80K a year. The majority. In the first year, the majority of our barbers make 80K a year. In their first year as a barber after barber school. Now, people don't think barbers should be earning that much, but unfortunately for barbers, they have to earn that much. Barber school's gonna run you $15,000 to $30,000 for the year. You're gonna have to go get your license, and you're gonna have to renew it every year or every other year, depending on the year. Oh, cutie, come. Walking my dog right now. Look at my baby. Hold on, let me show you my baby. Where you at? Where you at, Penny? There she goes. Penny, say hi. Hey, say hi. Say hi. She don't want to say hi. She's busy. She's getting distracted by other dogs in the background. All right, so where was I? And it's gonna be dependent a lot on the shop you work at, the compensation plan that they have. Some shops are gonna do salary, some will do commission, some will do booth rent. None of that stuff really matters. Ultimately, what really matters the most is the traffic that comes into the shop. What can you expect to make working at that location? Okay, that's a big one. Can you make really good money in any city? Absolutely. Doesn't matter if you can charge $30 for a haircut, $25 for a haircut in any city, in any state. And I personally have students that make 6 figures in middle nowhere, Montana, middle nowhere, Mississippi. As long as from our research, you need about 150 unique clients to be able to touch 6 figures. As long as there's 150 potential men that will sit in your chair, or women, or whatever, sit in your chair and get a haircut, you can make 6 figures. And I think that's possible in any market. The other thing is, if you are thinking about becoming a barber, everybody ain't your competition. The industry is not as saturated as a lot of people think. How many shops have you been to? How many barbers have you been to that just have poor customer service that you would never visit again? Doesn't matter what the quality of the haircut is. You would never visit them because their service sucks. They don't care. They don't listen to you. That's the majority of barbers, unfortunately. And the majority of barbers still earn a livable wage. Sorry about the background. A trolley passing by. And so all you have to really do to stand apart, unfortunately, is provide a good professional service. The reason probably for that is because that barrier of entry is so low in this industry that you get a lot of guys who just lack the wherewithal to be professional, unfortunately. And this is why I want to attract better quality of people to our industry, because it's a fulfilling industry. The barbershop is a community hub. You become a therapist for men. If you like giving back and you like giving back to kids, to your community, a barber a lot of times can be vital to people's lives, man. That's how you build a clientele that cares, or a clientele that sticks around, man. That's why clients are so loyal to their barbers, is because it's bigger than a haircut. And so if that's something that seems fulfilling to you, barbering's probably for you. What else I got? And that's just being a barber. You can scale this to own a shop. You can scale this to be an educator, to sell products, to be more than just a barber behind the chair. Absolutely. Barbering is such a flexible job, especially when you become booked, that you might want to start side businesses and invest in real estate or whatever it may be. You're not stuck there. There's a book called The Wealthy Barber, and it's a perfect picture that talks about a perfect book, a perfect story that talks about a barber who was the richest man in his town. And a lot of people didn't expect it because he's just a barber. Definitely a book to check out if you're on the fence about becoming a barber. I know it's not the most prestigious career because, unfortunately, the perspective that people have on barbers, it's a good one. It's a true one. Most barbers just don't know how to make it a career. It doesn't mean it's not possible. I've done it. I've helped a lot of barbers do it as well. I will tell you, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't do your research, if all you do is study how to do a good haircut and not how to make this a business and a career, you will struggle in the beginning, big time. And you may struggle either way. But if you study the business part of barbering, you won't struggle as much in the beginning. Because it might be slow in the beginning, but we have barbers, their first week, make $2,000, make $1,500. And then by the end of the year, they made $125,000 for the year. And this is verifiable on their tax returns, okay? But we also have barbers who they don't get it, man. They don't get it. And they still make $60,000, $70,000 their first year as a barber. But it is a business that you have to build your clientele in the beginning. And depending on the shop you're in, the demographics you're around, the team you join, that can really hinder your growth in the beginning and what you step into. But if you prepare yourself for a successful first year, you might just have them. Off, Penny, off. So with that being said, man, I think that kind of covers it off. If you guys got what's up, Joe? How you doing? Doing great, man. But if this conversation, if this topic interests you, definitely ask questions in the comments. I may not reply, but I do read them, and they do inspire my next videos where I can answer. And if you're a barber, go in the comments and help these guys out, these guys who are on the fence about it. After all, you were there at one point yourself. And this industry is not saturated. Good barbers are not your competition. We need more good barbers to help raise the respect of this industry, of this profession, and build a better reputation for the barber industry. After all, a rising tide raises all ships. So with that being said, man, I'll check out the comments after this drops.